Okay.
Let's go. Okay.
I was born and raised in a funeral home, and I knew this undertaker down there, and I got the formaldehyde to come in and put my toe in it. My wife's people's buried 60 miles below Charleston. On Decoration Day, we went and took flowers down there. It's about a 2.5-hour drive from Parkersburg. We come home and she went in the bedroom, changed her clothes, and I got my toe out and put it in the middle of the kitchen table, went out and picked some dandelions and put it around it. And she come back in, she said, "What in the hell are you doing?" I said, "If I could drive 2.5 hours each way, put flowers on your mother and dad's grave, I can put flowers on my toe every day." That's the last I seen the toe.
So, introduce yourself, Bill.
My name is William Franklin Ellis. I live in Parkersburg, West Virginia, and I'm 74 years old.
You're diabetic.
And I'm a diabetic. Still am a diabetic. And I hope they're done cutting off of it. I don't want to.
You're a bilateral below the knee amputee.
It might be easier if you ask
Well,
a question, so, yeah.
How long ago did you lose your limbs?
4 years ago.
What was that experience like?
They cut one off 1 month, and I think 3 months later they had to cut the other off. Well, he said it was going to have to come off. He showed me where one of these days pretty soon, and that day I just said, "Cut her off." They cut it off the next morning.
Did you think you'd ever walk again?
I was certainly going to try, but I only felt sorry for myself about 2 minutes. And I thought, there's nobody going to get me out of this bed or this wheelchair but me. And there was an outfit that makes legs in Charleston that messed with me for about 6 months. I never had a leg on, and Dr. McElroy said that Shannon was coming to Parkersburg on a Thursday. He wanted him to look at me, and I met him there Thursday, and he messed with me for about an hour and a half, and he only come in on Thursday. And Shannon says, "Bill, I'll have you walking next Thursday." And I said to him, "You'll go to hell for lying the same as stealing." And he said, "We'll see." And next Thursday, he messed with me for about 2 hours, and I walked out of there. I used the cane for 3 days, and I threw the cane away because I didn't like the cane. And I fell down a lot. But I made up my mind to keep it up. I do take a cane to football games. I like football games, and I do take a cane there. I'm afraid I might stumble and fall and grab a hold of some woman, or her husband will beat me to death.
I'm gonna stand over here. What are some of the things that you've been able to get back to doing since you've been able to walk again?
I cut my own firewood. My wife's got a barber shop. She's got a wood stove in the barber shop, and we got one in the house, and I cut firewood for both stoves, which takes a good bit of firewood. I mow my own grass, and I raise a garden. And I got up on the roof one time to clean the leaves out of the gutter, and I had a hell of a time getting off that roof.
Sure.
My wife says, "I'm going to call the fire department." I said, "You call the fire department, when they start up the hill, I'm jumping off this damn roof," because I'm going to get down myself. And I just up on the roof one other time. The neighbor boy, he usually comes over and does that for me.
So how long have you been a patient of Shandon's?
Since the first day he come to Parkersburg, that was, what, a year and a half ago, something like that. But he's the one that got me out of the wheelchair. I thank him about every time I see him for getting me out of that wheelchair. That was the greatest day of my life when I got up and walked out there. That's outside of that.
Is there anything else?
I do the marathon. I mean,
That's good.
it's a 2-mile fun walk or run, and I did the 2 miles first, but I come in last. But like I said, at least I didn't let anybody pass me. And the second one was a 3-mile one, and it was 3,500 people was in it, and I finished about halfway.
When were you diagnosed with diabetes?
But
When were you diagnosed with diabetes?
when I was 40 years old,
40?
and 74 now.
And how long have you been an amputee?
4.5 years, something like that.
Do you think in some ways your quality of life has gotten a little bit better now that you don't have to fight with the...
Oh, I still have I have had to take 3 shots a day.
Yeah.
I take one in the morning, one at noon, and one at night. But the one at night, sometimes I miss. I don't take it because my sugar's still down low, and I don't want to get too low before I go to bed.
But now that you have your mobility back, your quality of life has
Yes.
gotten a little bit better.
Oh, I retired from this company, worked for them 30 years, and then I had sugar then, and I applied for disability, Social Security when I was 32 or 62, and I got it. And then when I got to be 65, they told me I could go to work and work as long as I wanted to. It wouldn't affect my Social Security. So I got a job down on the bridge collecting toll. There's a toll bridge between I had Parkersburg, between West Virginia and Ohio. When they cut my first leg off, and then when they cut the second one off, the people from the bridge sent me a letter, said I was fired for missing too much work. I was laying in the hospital. I wasn't going to go back anyways, but it made me mad.
Yeah.
I was going to quit. They turned around and sent me a registered letter and said I was fired. So outside of that, I deer hunt. I go deer hunting.
What was your profession?
I started out in a funeral home. My
Okay.
parents
That's
had
what you
that
said.
funeral home, but I ended up on construction. I worked construction.
You did construction.
But I didn't like the funeral home.
Okay.
So,
Is there anything else you can think about telling us as far as your experience here with Anatomical Designs? Working with Shandon?
there's nothing I could say bad about Shannon. I'd brag on him to anybody and everybody they want me to, because I know what he done for me. That's every time he leaves, I tell him to give that dog a kiss and pat his wife on the head. He said he'll do it.
Well, that's great. I think we've got it.